It's a beautiful day. You're gonna play The Price is Rice.
Yeah, that intro was pretty impressive.
Immediately beginning with that shit.
I anticipated that I would do that regardless of whatever the intro was.
Good. Oh no, I can't get past a lamp. And
I
then the
can't
other
open the
direction.
door.
Oh no, I can't get past a lamp. And then the other direction. Okay, no.
But was the lamp actually like someone we knew all along that had been waiting 10 years to talk to us again?
I knew there was going to be some significance to that, but definitely didn't expect the way it turned out.
Indeed. Being vague so as not to spoil anybody that gets into that game, because it's
not that we've even said what it is.
No, but somebody might be able to piece two and two together if they happen to be playing that game. But yeah, anyway,
I mean,
oblique references aside.
Yes.
Oblique references aside, dungeon.
Yeah, last time I did a dungeon, I paid no attention to it whatsoever, and you ate.
This one is more puzzle focused, so you're gonna have to understand it a little better.
You're gonna have to understand.
The concept of love. Last time I talked about like my experiences with the shitty. Well, it's not even shitty.
Yeah, it's not shitty. It's frustrating.
It's upsetting. It's frustrating both in that it's not like just frustrating in general, but also like it could have been better. There's a great basis here, but there's just a lot of terrible decisions and bad dungeons.
Not to ramble about that for the entire time again, but we have played more of that quest, and the previous dungeon was fucking hellacious because it was just. What would you even call it? It was just fucking confusing to navigate. Every screen was full of likes, and like
it was another one. So, until then, the worst dungeon had been the Jabu dungeon, which was because of it being 2 floors you had to go between with the flippers. This one you had to do that again, but it was even worse and full of like spam in every room, basically.
Yeah, it was something to behold.
And then I got a little further, explored some more of the Overworld, and I'm like at the start of level 7, but I haven't progressed in a few days.
Maybe we'll do that later.
Perhaps.
2019. Quick, tell me everything that happened in your life that year. I mean, don't actually.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I prefer not to.
Alright, where am I going? There are doors over here. Do I have a key? No.
Nope.
Oh, yes.
You are having trouble with the puzzle.
This dungeon's already too hard. I belong in a museum.
You can tornado rod them.
I had a feeling that I probably could, but I wanted to try hitting them first to establish that was going to be needed.
To establish that time had passed.
No.
3 flaming skulls tell the story.
God, should we explain that?
I almost explained it in my stream yesterday because it was relevant. Also, 2020 rupees.
Oh, that's the worst number. Oh.
Yeah. But basically, when I was working on my quest and showing it off to Josh one time, the banter quest. I'm not going to go into details if you want to just plug. By the time this becomes public, there's probably been multiple streams of this, hopefully. But if you're watching this as a patron, then one's already been done. Anyway, Collectathon quest. There's an area in the forest with a bunch of like boulders and moblins wandering around.
Moblins.
The moblins, not the moblins. I mean, the moblins, not the bull. Fuck.
Creepy
Point is, there's a
video that came back. Okay, I'll shut up.
There is a skull tile that I used, and I placed one on the ground here. And as when I placed it, I was showing it to Josh. I'm like, I decided to put one skull here because often in Zelda games, they'll have like a bunch of skulls in one area as just like basically a pot replacement, just like a reskin, to have a bunch of stuff on it. to have like a bunch like things you can break for items.
Right.
But I'm like, I felt like that's a little cheap to just be like, oh yeah, there's just like,
like 10 people died, and here's their skulls.
Yeah. So I was explaining my logic for this, and I'm like, well, you see, one skull tells a story. And I went into this like impassioned rant about how, like, if there's a bunch of them, you wouldn't even think about it. But if there's just a single skull, you'll notice it and be like, huh, what happened here? Must have been, an individual, and you'll start thinking about them as a person a bit more. I went into this whole impassioned rant, and sure. And like, I think you enjoyed it, and were like, yeah, I can understand that. But like, you seem somewhat bemused by it, and I like misinterpreted this as like me thinking way too hard about it or something, and it was like embarrassing or something. But from then on, it became kind of an inside joke that anytime we'd see a skull mostly in Zelda games, because we've been playing like Wind Waker and stuff, we'd see like 6 skulls, and we'd be like, 6 skulls tells a story.
Yeah, pretty much.
Or like, we would fight a couple of Stalfos, and we'd be like, 2 skulls and the rest of the skeletons tell a story. It's very stupid.
But yeah, I would say your thought that I was just bemused by it was not correct, because I understood what you meant. Like, I agree with it. Alright, so I'm trying to figure out how I would get down there, because none of the blocks go over in that direction. It looks like I can just wall crawl, but there might be like a lamp in the way. I can't actually tell.
I think you have to come in from a different entrance.
Well, I'll just have to remember it's there for later then. Actually, I'm already lost. I belong in a museum.
Oh, can you just... Oh, no, because...
Oh.
Right.
Huh. We'll see.
Brock's unwarranted skepticism.
Probably just overthinking the shit out of all this.
You can shoot that, I think.
Shoot what?
There's like a switch.
I forgot that I had the bow.
I don't think you actually need to use it, though, so I'm wondering what the backup solution is.
Well, bow is
probably
for
just
the
getting
first
over
dungeon,
it.
right? So
yeah,
you would be expected to have it.
Use Tornado Rod.
I will. I'm just getting rid of the thing.
Hawk.
Another pointless thing to point out from the Hero's Memories, or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
Is the magic meter that automatically regenerates, and yet they still let you buy like magic pots in shops, which seems totally pointless. And they're usually in the like really hard to find ones too. Okay, I'm just making sure I didn't miss anything else here. Are you laughing at me?
No. I was remembering the shops that.
You're totally laughing at me.
I wasn't. I promise.
What does it do? That bat was
clearly. Love peas and pigeons.
Yes.
Yes. Every frame is so dense.
Every frame tells a story.
Bet!
I like the random girder.
Same.
Not to be confused with
you didn't like the purple.
Yes.
Matthew Broderick.
That was it.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Nice try, but that key is intangible for all intensive purposes.
God damn it.
I enjoy the weird anemone things.
Yes. Which, this wasn't intentional, but the shitty, like, coral things that I made in level 5 of Mitch look similar to those.
Yes.
Except, they are much shittier. Because I'm...
What do you mean? This sign implies that the ice hurts you.
Nothing wrong with that. I stand by my decision.
You shouldn't.
I'm going to assume that I can't do anything else in here yet.
I'm going to Gamelon to aid him.
Going. And I don't think I can go across the walls, no.
And the compy just peed my carpet.
And solo from the pet rock. Oh. Have you actually, checked at all how many votes I've gotten in the poll? Because I haven't.
I was keeping track of it up, every so often. I last checked maybe 2 days ago.
Whenever I figure I'll finish this dungeon and then probably just kind of dick around. Or no, because after this it's another mandatory thing before you start to pick, right? So.
Indeed, yeah. Depending on whether or not you did want to dick around, I figured we had this episode and then the next one, and then probably the one after that is when the decision would matter.
Okay.
I don't know, it depends. Because the next dungeon is extremely linear. It's basically just room after room of combat.
Just like Elvis in Blue Hawaii.
Sure. It's 2082. Remember what happened in that year? Oh, I don't want to talk about that.
Turns out there's actually a quote from Futurama that mentions that year.
Oh. Did you get pissed off with all the fake screenshots of the title thing that said time travel for the year 2020 is strictly prohibited?
I mean,
like, they knew! No, they didn't, because it's not fucking real.
Well, it's like the fucking SpongeBob screenshot where he's buried in the ground. And Mr. Krabs is like, I hope that's your nose.
That never happened,
yeah. Like, I can't believe they put this in a kid's show. But yeah, I mean, you know me. I got fucking pissed off anytime anybody made 2020 jokes. Just...
Yeah, indeed.
The constant belief that, oh my god, worst year that humanity has ever faced. Like, just, that shit pissed me off so bad.
What's 1942, like?
Alright, there's a key out there that I haven't gotten, and I don't know if I can. I already forgot how I got out there. I have not been doing a good job of paying attention to this dungeon.
No, you haven't.
If
I found it confusing the first couple of times I played it. But I played this game like 4 or 5 times now, so... No, I've played it almost pretty much in full 4 times, and I've played about half of it once. So.
What do you mean there's a key here?
It's from when you pull... thing.
Oh, I didn't even see this one. Oh no. Are we sure
when you
about
pull
that?
a different thing. Oh, you have to merge. This fucking got me stumped forever.
Oh, okay. Yeah, pot that I don't need. Pots you don't need. Pots you don't need.
Pots you don't freed. To run.
To run!
To run!
So yeah, I was exposed to those videos last night.
I love them so much. I watched them. I think it was 2 days ago, and I liked them so much that I watched them like 3 times on the. Well, I watched the first 2 like 5 times, and the other one like 3 times in the first day, and immediately bought a T-shirt, and then showed Josh the very next day, and was pleasantly surprised to find that he enjoyed them a lot as well.
Not to the same extent as you.
Not to the same extent, no.
Yeah. And for anybody who if the context of just saying Turon was not good enough for you, yeah, it's Anna or Ina or however you say it.
Mm-hmm.
Just fucking
by
weird.
Joel G.
Like, man, what the hell even are those?
Vaporwave surrealist animation series.
I'm just gonna keep doing this.
Oh yeah.
Gee, I wonder. Gee, I wonder. Gee, I wonder. Gee, I wonder which
They
one
should make-
to pick.
They should make a spin-off of G.I. Joe called G.I. Wonder.
That would be bum. It
That would be bum.
Yes.
Bobby Bum.
For I'm a tech of internet, 2 dudes, his friend's still on. Did I already make a bad
start
decision?
over.
Watch out, I'm gonna do it again.
I'm sorry, I'll do it again. What are you doing?
I don't know, being stupid. 2 dudes, his friend's still on. Oh, is there any merging I need to do in here? No, I don't think I can.
I don't think so.
Any house rousing?
All the time, man. Treats for your mom, your dog.
I have no response to that because I don't remember what was said next.
To run.
Was it actually to run?
Yes.
Okay.
I think you just want that drop down.
I can't. It's too far. I could die.
Paced away if I did T more.
Okay, so let's see. I'm still missing a chest on the 1st floor. I've not been to the 3rd. I would probably like to return to the 1st floor, but I don't know how.
I would like them here.
There's one of the green gentlemen from the Eastern Palace, or the Dark Palace, or whatever it was. I think this is
Oh yeah, let me check.
seeing them in this game.
Let me just check the bolt.
You say while dying slightly.
Yeah, I was just burping. Results!
That was
Yeah, it hasn't changed in a couple of days. I'm sorry.
You have more than 3 people voted.
8 people have voted.
Not enough.
One of them was me.
Daddy.
Of the popular, the 2 most popular dungeons, one of them is a reasonable first choice, and one of them is from people who wanted you to fucking die.
Well, I like the fucking die option. I'll probably pick that if it's a tie. Any time spent not failing is a time best spent eating fake candy.
Best step correct.
Eating fake candy.
Yes.
Beat a fake Sugenhaas. I'm trying to remember.
I didn't like that one.
Oh. Trying to remember which SC that was. I think it might have been Square Object.
I love the SCs.
I should add all of them to the, like, SCP thing.
Oh, clearly.
My only exposure to those is, like, a couple videos just making fun of bad ones. Oh, good. Okay, that was not what I expected that to do. Where's the lantern? To continue in my trend of talking about stupid dreams I've had, here's one that I haven't told you about because I don't fucking remember any of it. But a couple nights ago, I had some kind of dream where there was a Meowth that was just, like, dead set on killing me. And from what I remember, it had, like, a very justified reason for doing this. Like, I think I was, like, extremely abusive to it or something. But I don't remember why. I just remember, like, it was, like, surprisingly tense. Because, like, part of the way that I had to deal with this thing was, like, I think I trapped it inside a box and then, like, put the box in some kind of a contraption where, like, if it were to escape, then it would get, like, really badly injured, and then I, like, fucking threw the box into the middle of the street.
Oh my god!
And, like, tried to use this time to try and, like, put some distance between it, like, it and me, and it wasn't good enough because it broke out, like, fucking immediately.
So it goes, Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
that's a very nightmare type thing to happen. It's like, okay, I've crafted this scheme that should buy me time, and then it just buys you like half a second, and you're just fucked anyway.
I'm pretty sure the dream did end with me dying.
Oh.
Just like in real life. What?
That is how the dream of life ends, I suppose.
Oh, I see. Yeah. I wish I remembered more of my dreams. There's some fucking stupid shit that happens in them. Like the one with the Fablehaven movie, that was kind of shit. It was like just a crappy budget title with like it was like just TV show quality CG. And it was the first movie that I was aware having been made for the series, but it's like, oh yeah, you know, this is like the 8th one. And I'm just like, wait, how are there 8 of these? I'm watching the movie, I'm like, this is the stuff that happens in like the 3rd book. And they're like, oh yeah, they've been splitting them up like crazy. And none of them have Fablehaven in the title. You're just supposed to kind of figure out that they're connected.
I love the way Americans say 8th.
How did you say it?
8th.
Oh, you actually pronounced the T?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think I've ever heard anyone say it that way. I do specifically remember one of my, like, younger, like...
days.
Yes, no, just one of my teachers from, like, 1st grade or something, specifically said that the word 6th is, like, a Sylvester the Cat word, because it's really hard to say it without, like, spitting. Oh, good.
It's a Sylvester the Cat word.
Yeah.
By the way, this boss is called Margot Mill.
Not anymore, it's not. Margot Mill?
Yes. Also, this boss cannot damage you.
Oh. It can just shove you off.
Yep.
This is, a boss that exists, I can say that much with relative confidence.
With relative ease. I think it's probably the easiest boss in the game.
Relatively funny.
Yes.
And before I die to it.
That would be sad. It fucking magnetizes to you when you use it if it's like too far away.
Oh, good.
It depends. It can't be like across the fucking screen.
So I guess I'm going back in the dungeon after I beat this, because I think there was a chest or two that I missed.
You can pause and check.
I'll check after this. Not too worried
No,
about
you
it at the
won't.
moment. Can I use arrows on this?
Maybe. Apparently.
I am actually taking a significant amount of damage from getting knocked off. I'm not sure how I'm supposed to prevent this.
Just avoid being near the edge when you hit it.
No.
And avoid walking into it when the wind's blowing.
See, like, I am legitimately having trouble here.
I don't know, I usually don't fall off more than 1 or 2 times, but... I don't want to make you feel bad, I guess it's probably something that I'm unable to explain. I must have cursed you by telling you it was easy.
A little bit.
And that's happened the other way around, too. When I'm playing stuff, you're like, don't worry, this part's easy. And I fucking fail like crazy.
Yeah, it's like, it's always risky to say that something is easy, because I'm like, okay, this part you should have no trouble with, and then you do, and then that makes you feel even worse.
Yeah. Well, at least you did it.
Like, I don't think there was ever any risk of me losing the fight, but I did feel stupid taking as much damage as I did.
Oh. You're okay.
Yeah, speedrun strat landing on the heart container. Alright, got another Christmas ornament. I'm remembering another part of the dream now where, like, I was in a car with somebody who was upset because somebody, like, stole their porn. And then to try and calm down, they ate a couple orange slices.
Oh my god. That's amazing. Oh, I forgot about getting the Master Sword.
Yeah, Mastage Sword.
The Mr. Sword. Is it you that called it out, Dante?
I don't think I did.
Okay.
Alright, so there's a room I've just never been in. There's rooms you can't eat, browns you can't brick, slaves... That's it, just slaves. You can't say
so you're
the word
saying that
slave.
slavery is justified?
Well, of course. I mean, who could disagree?
Who am I to disagree?
Because the next line of that song is something about the seven seas, I was about to go on an ocean rant, but I did not.
Ocean rantage. Rantage. Mario's insane rantage.
Alright, is it gonna be Monster Guts?
Probably. I'm gonna go with 20 rupees. 100.
Lucky you!
You always do that.
Could I have not just done that the whole time? Oh, I don't think I've... Okay, this was...
You can't get over here.
I was able to get to. Never mind. To run! Okay, now.
To run!
Alright, well... I suppose going to get the Mastage Sword is probably something I should do.
Since we quoted all the other good among the other best parts of that video, I have to do oh no 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 no.
Yeah.
Because that's my favorite part, and you laughed your ass off when you.
It is many people's favorite part.
It was the only thing you'd seen of the series before.
I had seen it like a day or two before you showed it to me. I don't remember what the context was.
This is gonna sound stupid because this was literally 2 days ago, but I genuinely do not remember why I ended up watching them because I'd seen them months before, and I thought it was like a musician or something. I didn't know the context.
Excuse me.
He doesn't speak Hylian. And now you murdered him.
Well, yeah,
but yeah,
he doesn't speak Hylian, so why do I give a shit about his feelings? Anyway, I'm thinking if I go to get the sword, the game will probably, thrust a bunch of, like, cutscenes and stuff at me. It might not, I don't know, but,
I don't think there's that many. I think it's just you go to the woods, you get the sword, and then they're probably like, come to the castle! And then that's it.
I'm, like, kind of expecting that you pull the sword, and it's just like, oh my god, stuff is happening, go do it here!
I think you should probably go get the sword this video.
Okay.
If you want to dick around between now and then that's justifiable in today's society.
I don't remember the race starting on top of this hill.
It does.
It's weird.
It's probably best to do all of your attempts at this in, like, one sitting instead of, like, trying once per video, to be honest, but...
okay. Well, we're already off to a grand start. And then
You can probably still make it. Because this one gives you 75 seconds, and you need to be able to do it in 65 for the full reward.
Fuck. Fake light, yep. Oh, really?
What? That's
okay.
bullshit.
I already give up. I'm not gonna bother. I mean, I'm heading to the woods
It'll
anyway.
still be good to learn the route, yeah.
I think I need to do it off screen. I don't want to do this a bunch of times.
Okay, we can maybe start with it sometime. Just start with like, look.
I feel dumb. I've done it before, but I mean, it took me so many tries when I did it the first time.
It's tricky. I looked up a route and then I just tried the route a good few times. In my normal runs, I actually never even bothered with it. I think I only did it.
Part of the problem is I never remember the way this overworld is laid out. It doesn't matter how many times I play through either this game or Link to the Past. It confuses me.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see if there's any other stuff I can do. I'm assuming this whole area is kind of blocked off until later in the game. I don't remember why exactly. Oh, because there's just no way over there at all. Okay. I guess that'll do it. Did I go in this cave?
I think so.
Yeah.
It's Faithy.
Yeah, Faithy. Fef. Fef is not the hamster's name, but we're going to pretend that it is.
God.
Why did you sound so exasperated?
Just because I remembered the hamster's name.
I don't. All I remember is that it's not Fef, and therefore it's bad.
I'm calling you out. You know who you are.
Yes. Yeah, I'm kind of feeling like just going around and finding some of these, but I mean, eh.
With the Maiamais?
Yeah.
May as well.
Mige. I probably don't have some of the stuff that I need to get them.
I don't know, man. The only thing you're missing is, like, Titan's Mitt and portals, I think.
And the sand rod, that's important.
Ah, yes. I think there's, like,
there
a
it is.
couple that use it. Most are in the desert.
Mother Maggie.
I know one of the ones in Kakariko requires it. I don't know about anywhere else.
I don't know if it's actually supposed to be pronounced Kakariko. I feel like...
No, I always say Kakariko.
I always say Kakariko too, but then I feel like I'm saying it wrong when I do. Like,
I don't.
It's like, okay, this is how I'm used to saying it, and I'm going to keep saying it this way, but I also recognize it as being probably wrong. I don't know. Good. Can I actually do anything with Bunnyman? Where is Bunnyman? Over here. Alright. You have cholera yet? Yeah, okay.
Okay, I would definitely get Fire Rod or Ice Rod with that.
Okay. Yeah, I figured I would do the one that's most expensive. I just wasn't sure which, so...
Both the same.
Ugh.
Mm-hmm.
I should probably buy everything that I can afford.
Yeah. You can hypothetically go upgrade that immediately as well if you want.
Okay. I'll see which ones seem the most useful. Also, you're making noises. I should probably stop.
Sorry. I need to fiddle with things.
What? You're already renting the bow. Like, dude, you just told me that I can buy these. Why are you surprised? So... Ah, yes, this thing. Okay, so how does this work again? Ah, yes. And and then you can, like, select which ones of these appear in the thing.
I don't know if you can do that right now.
No?
That might be a thing. I think that's a tutorial that he gives you later.
Okay.
And by tutorial, I mean introduces the mechanic. See something you like?
Buy something here. Immediately
go ahead and go to
Mother Maggie, which is
yeah
here.
Not this way. No. Go back up. You want to go east first. One. It's not south of the thing. It's east and then south.
What?
Oh man, if you had 30, you could do a third item.
Well, I probably don't care about the fire rod anyway. I'll upgrade the whatever stuff I have, so... Bow and boomerang, yeah. Oh yeah, I forgot about the weird singing.
What'd you upgrade, sir?
The Boge.
Why do I have a notification? Oh.
Because somebody requires your assistance.
They actually don't.
Are they telling you about a mattress?
No. No, it's actually a like on a comment that I left on a post. The post was like a screenshot of trying to buy Black 2 secondhand, and it was like super expensive, and they're like, last I checked it wasn't this expensive, what the hell did you guys do? And I commented like, for some reason all the games shot up in price in general a couple months ago, because Joel told me that.
Yeah, he was telling me how like just all video games are like all retro games are like super expensive now, like fucking $250 for PS1 games. Like,
I don't know if I would call Black 2 retro, to be fair, but I said older games.
Yeah. I wouldn't call it retro either, but anything that's not like either current gen or like...
Yeah, it applied to those as well.
I guess last gen, I don't know. I never know how the generations are split up.
You don't? It's just like when it's consoles basically. So right now we're in the 9th generation. Wii U, PS4, Xbox One was 8th. Wii,
wait, are we
360.
In 9th? Hold on, I thought that...
Yeah.
But didn't... So wait, is Switch in the same... Is Switch in 2 different generations then, or...?
It's really weird, because I tracked this stuff as a kid. Like, when I was a kid, it was the 7th generation. And then when the 8th gen started, with the Wii U, you know, Wikipedia updates and all that, I'm like, okay, cool, now we're in the 8th gen, so then when there's another console, it'll be the 9th gen. Switch comes out, I check Wikipedia, there is no article for the 9th gen of gaming. It doesn't say what generation the Switch is in. It doesn't say it's in 8th, but it doesn't say it's in 9th either. Only once the PS5 and, what even is it called? Xbox One X? No, it's Xbox Series X.
Man, I don't...
Only once the...
there's the Xbox One, Series X, and Series S. And, like, I don't know what the fuck they are.
Anyway,
they need to get better names. Like, people make fun of the Wii U for having a shitty name. Xbox is way worse.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Also, I'm hearing a squeaking. Do you know where there's one nearby?
It's in my chair.
False.
No, I don't know. I'm sorry.
Oh,
but yeah, oh, there it is. Only once those came out did Wikipedia finally update and say, okay, yeah, the Switch, the PS5, and Xbox Series X are 9th gen. It was really weird. They, like, couldn't be bothered when it was just the Switch out, but the Switch is technically the start of the 9th gen.
Okay.
So yeah, and then we
truly a next-gen console because it was part of that generation before it even started.
So yeah, and then like Wii was 7th gen, GameCube was 6th.
6th.
And 64. Yes, and 64 was 5th. SNES was 4th. NES was 3rd. And the 1st and 2nd were just like fucking tennis for 2 or some shit.
Well, I mean, like Atari, I assume was 2nd gen. And then
I guess, and then 1st was probably like Magnavox Odyssey and shit.
And like Pong machines and crap, yeah. Yeah, I never remember what generation number or anything is, because I've never looked into it. I'm sure I could remember if I put like 2 seconds of thought into it, but for me, I always just kind of, I'm just like, oh, you know, this is like the GameCube generation.
Right.
Yeah, we're the Pepsi generation, yeah.
Oh my god, that was terrible.
That was.
I think we had a discussion in some streams sometime about like which generation should be considered retro. We were both on the same page that like N64 was retro. And then I think we also both thought that GameCube was not really retro yet, but everyone in chat was like, right, but everyone in chat was like, no, GameCube's retro, and we're like, that doesn't feel right.
For me, even saying N64 retro is kind of like, I would be more willing to call GBA retro than N64, but that's just because of 2D versus 3D. Like, right. I know, obviously, that time...
There are people out there calling Wii retro, and I'm just like, no. GameCube is the questionable one, for me.
See, for me, it's always just weird seeing people say, like, vintage Thai Beanie Baby, 1999. I'm like, 99 isn't fucking vintage. Like, but not even in the sense that, like, I think there are defined cutoff years for, like, when you can say that something is retro or vintage or, like, antique or whatever. But I don't know what those are. I'm like, but I'm just like, for Beanie Babies, 99, no, fuck that. Everything was common in 99. That's not fucking vintage. Like,
I found an article here from Retro Kids.
Is it with a Z?
No.
Because you pronounced it, like, with emphasis.
So, according to Wikipedia, an antique is an old collectible. An item should be at least 100 years old to be an antique. Generally speaking, if the item is no older than an antique, but not less than 20 years, so basically 20 to 100 is vintage. True vintage is for 50 or to 100. Okay. Retro is the recent past, so it seems like... What do they say? It generally implies a vintage of at least 15 or 20 years.
That was
I guess by that definition... That's for retro, yeah.
15.
15, 20. I suppose by that definition, the GameCube would definitely be considered retro, and the Wii is, like, on the cusp of it.
God.
That feels fucking weird to me. I was conscious when the Wii came out, therefore it will never be retro ever.
Well, yeah. Anything newer than 1997 is still new.
Including me.
Does this stack well with my claim that it's weird that they're still making people?
I forgot about that.
That wasn't even actually my original thought. I stole that from somewhere else. But, yeah, I don't know. I still, like... I don't know how to put it into words, really, but... Like, seeing anybody who is, like, currently a child, or even, like... Seeing kids that from, like, 10 years ago, they just look newer. like, oh, this model of child wasn't out, like, 10 years before. It's like, I'm not even trying to be funny. That
does make sense, though, because kids will look different because of how it is fashionable for a parent to dress their child, right?
But I'm not even talking about clothes. I'm talking about just, like, how they look.
Well, presentation in general, you know, clothes, like how they do their hair, like.
I guess it's just like
genetic, like, not trends, but like genetic patterns, I guess.
Maybe. Like, the best example I can give is the stupid the epilogue in Harry Potter. It's like, okay, so first movie comes out in, like, what was it, 1998. And we have, like, the child actors of that movie, and those look like regular kids to me. But then we cut to the epilogue, and it's like, okay, well, now we've got to use kids that are actually kids at the time of this movie being filmed. I'm like, man, what the fuck are these people? These don't look like real kids. They're like plastic.
I get it, though.
Okay. I've not been paying very close attention to what I'm doing here.
Right, what time are we at?
44. After this, I'll probably get the sword.
Yeah.
To figure out how to actually get up here first. I don't think I was supposed to drop down.
If next time's gonna be the other dungeon, do you suppose that it's gonna be that and then just dicking around with portals the whole episode?
Very
Because
possible.
there is a lot to get with.
There's
with
a lot of
portals.
dicking around in this game.
Okay.
It's also just weird to me that, like, it's expected for kids to have, like, phones and shit now.
Yeah, that's weird to me too. I don't think you want to go back around. I think.
Yeah, I need to find a higher place to merge somewhere.
I feel like if I had a kid, I wouldn't want them to have a phone until they're a teenager. But maybe that's just me being old-fashioned. I don't know. Maybe with sufficient, like, parental controls, it's fine. I don't know. I certainly appreciate the idea of, like, okay, you know, they can call me if they need me for something.
Do you know where I'm supposed to go?
I really don't know. Try doing this. Nope. I'd fall in a pit to reset yourself. I think you want to merge onto that moving platform there.
This one here?
Yeah. And then...
Oh, no, I've been here.
No.
Yeah, I need to get up a floor. And it's hard to tell what what distinguishes the different heights. I put 3D on, but that's...
Yeah. Wow, they're really shilling that 3D.
I liked the 3D. People are always like, oh yeah, I never used it after, like, the first 2 days. I thought the 3D was cool.
I thought it was cool, it's just I usually didn't have the battery power for it. Also, I played a lot of Pokemon, which barely uses it. Or doesn't in Gen 7.
Yeah. That was Martin's #1 reason for not liking Gen 6.
Was that it didn't use 3D enough?
Yes. It's like, what's the point of it even being on the 3DS? Okay.
Because Game Freak like working with simpler hardware, as shown. But did you know that like this is probably well known, but like I think Ishihara like basically shit talked the Switch before it came out. And he's like, this thing's totally gonna fail.
I mean, I've seen people saying that it failed long after it came out and became popular. It's like, oh yeah, like,
why?
Well, it was like they were making fun of like the original commercial for it, where it's like, oh yeah, you're definitely gonna have a party where people are huddling around this thing to play Mario Party.
It's funny because that actually kind of does happen now, right? Like, I mean, it did seem a little silly to me at the time, but
where the fuck do you go?
I really don't know. I think you want to get on top of the red platform at the top, maybe. But I don't know how you would do that. Oh, I'm dumb. You wanna get on one of those? I think so. Yeah. It seems too simple though. Maybe the edge is just the other platforms are just for like money and stuff, and not actually part of the solution. Yeah, this looks right.
Okay. Another 20. This is gonna be 100 rupees probably.
I think so.
Yeah. Well, at least grab the other 20. I had 420 there for a second. Oh my god.
Up.
Never even done a single drug.
Me neither. Blink your thumb.
To get on.
I think I know that you don't want another tangent, but if you go back, I think you can actually get something with wall merge back in the sewers.
I'm here. I might as well.
Still making kids.
Yeah. And then you start getting the people who are like, it's a sin to still have children in this age with all this overpopulation.
Oh yeah, I've heard of antinatalists.
Quietly eating Taco Bell. You know, this is a sin. We need to be eating more vegetables. that, right?
I don't recall.
Yeah, it was just a random night with my family. We got Taco Bell.
It's this room.
In here, or the one I'm already in?
Well, you're already in. You want to follow over there and merge?
Yeah, we had Taco Bell one night, and just out of nowhere, completely unprompted, my grandma's just like, you know, this is a sin. We need to be eating more vegetables. I'm like,
how is it a sin?
I don't know, she used to throw that word around a lot, and it made me sad.
Oh.
It's like, just, this house, it's a sin.
I think the only thing my mom said that with was whenever I said I would hate something, she's like, we don't hate in this household, we dislike. Hating is a sin.
I see. I hate that. Okay, no, it was too easy.
I used to be like, oh, I'll do what I want. And I mean, you know, I still agree with, I still think I should be able to do what I want, but I also try not to hate things now. I do agree that it's kind of, I don't know. To me, there is an important distinction between dislike and hate, where, like, I feel like hate is self-destructive, so I try to avoid it. But, I mean, it is...
Oh, I heard squeaking. Okay, this one's easy.
How the fuck did you miss that one?
Because I've probably never passed through here.
You're right. I'm sorry.
I was going to go on a random tangent earlier where I'm just like, not to get political, but, and then it just wasn't political at all. But,
Not to get political, but what the fuck is oatmeal?
Classic oatmeal. But yeah, like 2 days ago at work, there was somebody there who was, you know, talking like, oh man, I've been sober for a week or something, and I'm just kind of like not contributing to the conversation at all because I have nothing to say on it.
Yeah.
And without prompting, they asked me, they're like, do you drink? And I'm like, no. And then that was pretty much it. And I then realized, like, they're probably thinking of that as different from my answer, because it's like, I think most people who say that they don't drink, it's like, they still do, just not, like, often enough to, like, I don't know.
Yeah. No, I don't know.
Because it's extremely rare. I think the only people who don't drink are, like, recovering alcoholics. Everybody else either... Like, everybody else just kind of, like, does, you know, once in a while.
Or, like, Muslims.
Fuck this.
I mean, I don't drink.
I didn't realize that. Well, yeah,
I don't think
but me and you are weird, though. Like, everybody else does.
I guess. I don't know, because, like, I'm... You can probably guess, but I'm not really a party person. But, after I graduated from secondary school, so I was, like, 16, I would often go to, like... And, like, in early college, not to be confused with university, I would often go to, there were a few parties I went to, maybe 4 or 5, and I didn't drink any of them, because I don't drink. So I kind of took it upon myself, along with my friend Charlie, to basically be, like, a caretaker of sorts, like, we'd try to help out people who were in a bad state. Sorry, I don't want to distract you.
I'm watching.
Okay. We basically look after people, and, you know, people would offer me shots and stuff, and I'd be like, sorry, I don't drink. And one time, one of my friends, not a close friends, they wouldn't, you know, I didn't know them that well, but decent friend, was like, oh, I'm just curious, by the way, like, you know, why don't you drink? And I'm just like, oh, just...
Yeah, that's the thing, is I don't know why you have to have a reason.
Well, yeah, they didn't mean any offense, they were just curious if there was, you know, any
even if it's not offense, though, like, it's still... Oh, good.
I guess.
Fuck. Alright. To actually pay attention here.
You'll want to go down, I think.
Don't even give me a chance, jeez.
Sorry. But you knew as well, right?
Yeah. I'm surprised that I was able to track 2 objects at once. I didn't think that that was an ability that I had as a human.
It's not too bad.
These 3 are always staying next to each other, it looks like. But not anymore. Oh god. Is the answer to go back?
I don't know. Yeah, you got it right. I actually don't know. I actually lost track of that one. I don't usually do that.
Squirrel.
Ambinals.
Yes. Don't get to read that text. I'm sure it's not important.
It just says, please wash your hands before touching the sword.
And before washing your hands.
Yes.
I like the sign at work that's just, employees must wash hands. It's like, I mean, yeah, but like, what do you mean must wash hands? You didn't give, like, a specific time. Like, just at all.
You must have washed your hands ever.
Yeah. Hey, that sign in the bathroom that says, wash your hands, that's just for the employees, right? I mean, technically, yes.
I believe the Master Sword does double damage, and there's 2 different upgrades you can get to it.
Sounds like Link to the Past.
I want to say each of those double it as well, but
I'm not making any damn haste.
It could be 1, 2, 3, 4 damage, or it could be 1, 2, 4, 8. I'm not sure. Well, remind me to check. I'll check right now.
The music has become triumphant.
Yes.
Fef. So wait, is the Overworld music just different now because I have the sword?
I think so.
That's kind of cool. I didn't remember that being a thing. I probably played this game with no audio most of the time because it was at work.
Hmm.
Well, no, because I remember specifically, every time you clear a floor in the frickin', like, battle tower thing, there's always this noise that the crowd makes that I always thought was really stupid.
And yeah, it's 1, 2, 4, 8.
Oh, damn, okay. Anyway, unless I felt like faffing around for another 5 minutes, I guess that's probably a good stopping point, so we'll find a save point, and then maybe
I believe there's one right outside the castle, so you may as well
vowel
stop there.
sounds with my noise.
With your noise.
Yeah.
You could upgrade one more thing now that you have 30 mailees.
Do I have enough money?
Does it take money?
Well, I meant to buy another thing. I don't want to upgrade the fire rod because I don't give a shit about it.
Okay.
I'll upgrade it, like, eventually, but I think I want to probably do bombs.
Okay.
Well, let's see. What do I have? Hook shot, bombs. I know the lantern you can't upgrade.
You can through,
The fucking tower, yeah.
Yeah.
And the bug net. I'll just go ahead and save here.
Okay. Well, thanks for watching.
And if you didn't finish, and if you didn't watch it, then thanks anyway for being an asshole. Just gonna end there.
Good.